Yo, yo, what's up, YouTubers? I also want to mention another one, too, actually. The movie, y'all know, that was released in 1992 of March 27th. White Man Can't Jump was released 31 years ago. But it's still a funny golden sports classic, a basketball movie. And it stars with guesses in it Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, and Rosie Perez, and Cynthia Farrell. She's the actress that plays as, Doughboy's mom in the movie Boys in the Hood. She appears in the White Man Can't Jump film. Man, I just love movies like this that take place in Los Angeles. And I also like movies that, do New York too, and other states as well. I like these classic movies, especially when it comes to sports. This was released 31 years ago. This is such an amazing classic. I have the Funko Pops. I just gotta look for them. When I do find them in my, it's packed in my boxes. So I'm gonna have to get it out and show the video of it. But I'm glad to show y'all this movie right now. Wesley Snipes as Sidney Dean and Woody Harrelson as Billy Hoyle. Yes, they are unlikely the basketball hustlers that they end up teaming up and they go away across different sets of the Los Angeles, like Watts and all over Los Angeles, just to play against different ballers. That's their competitiveness was. They were trying to make their money to support their families and stuff like that. It's so funny in the beginning. He gets called a goofy old chump. Actually, he gets called a chump. He's like, my name's not Chump, and he's like, Billy Hoyle. Like Wesley Snipes is mocking him in the film. It's so hilarious. He thinks that Woody won't be able to make any shots, but he actually did. It was like he surprised the people on Venice Beach of Los Angeles. He really did. And it's such a crazy title that they call it White Man Can't Jump. But Woody in the beginning he wasn't able to dunk, but going towards the end of the movie he did. And it was definitely a big special surprise at the end of the movie when I used to watch this film a lot. I'll still watch it. I still do because it's still a classic. I know I've been busy with other things in life, but when I do get the time, I definitely would watch this movie. And so the movie that goes so far, they go to a basketball tournament, and of course, Dwayne Martin is one of the players on the tournament, the guy from Above the Rim with Tupac. He's the one that picks on them and making fun of them and stuff, and that's how they lost in the game when these two beat them. And Wesley, tried to calm them so there wouldn't be no conflict and fight. And yeah, it's a funny movie, but they still won their trophies. And then they went to some kind of, it looks like an empty vacant lot. It looks like a vacant lot. And there was a basketball hoop there, so Woody could be able to show Wesley to dunk it. And he's like, ain't nobody going home tonight. And he jumps on. He's like, oh, he's all in a tantrum, he couldn't dunk the ball in the hoop. And he's like, Billy, you're almost there, almost there. And he's like, I know what your problem is. And then he puts his hands like this so he could give him a boost. That's what Wesley's character was doing, Sidney Dean. And he's like, Sidney, get out the way. And he's like, sure, I'm just trying to help. And he's like, okay, it's your money. And Woody just jumps up and slams it and just misses again. And he's like, oh, blame me. It's so funny the way Wesley says it. Man, I couldn't stop laughing at that film. It's a hilarious film. And then, Woody kept saying, shut up. Wesley was trying to talk to him. And he's like, you know what your problem is again? Billy, white men can't jump. And then he kisses his chain and, he was going to be able to dunk it again. And he did. And he's like, yeah! He's all upset and pissed. I couldn't stop laughing. I felt like I wanted to fall off the chair or the couch, man. I couldn't stop laughing at Woody Harrelson's character, Billy Hoyle. I literally couldn't stop laughing at that part. I really couldn't. It's just funny. And here's the backside of this film. And then also on top of it too, Wesley's character, Sidney Dean, his apartment got raided. Well, robbed. He got robbed. And also when he goes home, his girlfriend, is so mad at him because he came so late and stuff like that. And then also I want to mention another part. Raymond Marquise Johnson. He was also an NBA player himself. He was a UCLA student before at that campus, and he definitely was a great baller. And they call him Big Raymond in the movie. That's when Woody Harrelson met these guys over there in that part of LA. And Wesley, of course, I saw him dunk too. He jumped up and slammed. And then I seen Marquise Johnson. He jumps up there too and he dunks it too. Hard damn work. And then of course I like the part where he's like, he puts the mask on his face. Hey yo, give me the money. Raymond, that you? That was Redondo Ray, R.I.P. Nah, this ain't Raymond. Take off that damn mask and put down that gun. And he's like, you're gonna need a good gun. And he was trying to sell him the gun so he could get the money. And because they were hustling over there on the courts. It was funny. And he was saying, get the out of here. Like he's telling Raymond's character that in the liquor store. It's funny, man. If you guys love basketball or just sport movies in general or just sports, you will definitely love this movie. It's a funny movie with the one and only Mr. Snipes himself and Mr. Harrelson. They were a great comic duo in this film. I've always liked to see these comic duos, just like I see Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte in 48 Hours or Mr. Aykroyd and Murphy in Trading Places. Those are just great movies, And that includes Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor when they were in films together too. So it kind of feels like I'm seeing like the '90s Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. It kind of feels like I'm seeing these two, playing basketball. But this is Wesley and Woody in this film. But it's still a great movie. I'm so glad I own it. I have the soundtrack too. I gotta get the one that has all the rap songs though, because it says "White Man Can't Rap." They made that title on the soundtrack. I'd like to get a hold of that soundtrack. Hope I do someday. It'd be great if I get it on the vinyl too, or the tape. And then Woody and Woody and Wesley, they go to another court, and they meet up with this other guy, who's also another baller too, that he needed to borrow some cash too, and so. So they can meet up with these other ballers on the court at the end of the movie. And then, of course, Rosie Perez's character, she ends up dumping, Woody. It's really crazy, man. I was like, how could a beautiful woman want to, just leave Woody like that? And Woody just felt, heartbroken in the movie. But then he still felt happy at the end. Because, he finally, got to slam dunk. And he was like, ah! And then Wesley's like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Man, it's just... The movie is just hilarious and it's great. Especially playing basketball. It just makes me feel like, every time I watch movies like this, I just feel like going on the court to go play ball myself. Like, I'm ready for some action. That's why I like watching sports movies. I like watching basketball. Basketball has always been my number one sport. And then, there was another part of the movie. Rosie Perez also does a Jeopardy thing, too, where she tries to, win her money, too. Just to keep, a roof over Woody and her head, too. Have a roof over their heads. But yes, it's still a great movie. 31 years ago, still an amazing classic. If you guys see this movie, definitely put this movie into your collection. You won't regret it. It's a really funny movie that you will be laughing your butts off to. Here's this part too. And I also like the other scene too, where Wesley, goes to some like little Mexican food joint, and all the Hispanic folks around there, saying what's up and everything, and then of course Woody interrupts, Wesley, and from them, and he's like, "Oh darn it, what man?" Because that's when Woody was in trouble too. So it also went the same way as Wesley. It went through. There was trouble too when his house got robbed. So that's why Woody and Wesley had to help each other out, and they sure did. Movie was great. It was a great buddy comic duo movie. What's your favorite scene of the movie White Man Can't Jump? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and comment, and I'll definitely respond to all of y'all's comments. Y'all stay blessed and take care. Peace.